It's a little hazy, but got a good view for the San Joaquin Valley over there. It's around top of Mount Emigdio, up to Mount Emigdio there. Okay. This, of course, here, this large, thick one is the San Andreas. We're going to work our way into California today for this hike. And we are heading down on Southern California. San Diego on the bottom there, Los Angeles. As we zoom on down to our hike here, you see Interstate 5 on the right here. Going through Frazier Park here into the Pine Mountain Club area. You have Mount Pinos on the bottom and Mount Emigdio, which is actually a saint. But here we're here to talk about the hike. Let's go ahead and do a tilt here. You can see that it is a pretty good hike uphill, 5.5 to the peak. It's around top of Mount Emigdio, up to Mount Emigdio there. Okay. And I'll tilt it a little bit more here. You can see the San Joaquin Valley. You have, where's Bakersfield? Oh, Bakersfield should be here. You have Delano, Shafter, Wasco, sorry. I was thinking of Watsonville, Wasco, Buttonwillow, Kern Lake. Okay. So this hike is 3.5 one way. That gives us 7 miles. Not bad. There is an elevation gain. Let's see here. If I put this back to feet, it shows we started, well, the minimum is 6,000. The max was 7490. Okay, there you go. Looks like I get pretty muddy up here. pretty high now. I'll check the compass. Oh, I'll check the compass in a minute. Well, it's a little hazy, but got a good view for the San Joaquin Valley over there. As you're working your way down, I guess the grapevine would be that direction. I gotta quit doing that because it comes out on the audio. That was quick. Today's hike is San Emigdio Mountain. It's located in southern Kern County, I guess, northern Ventura County here in California. There's the local communities here at Frazier Park, Lake of the Woods, and Pine Mountain Club. I'm staying in the Pine Mountain Club area at this moment. The elevation is 94.95 feet. Okay, some of the geology, which we'll talk more about towards the end of the discussion here. It is earthquake fault lines. The three that are here are, I say three, are the Garlock, the San Andreas, Big Pine faults. We'll get into more about that also later on. Okay, so San Emigdio. Who was San Emigdio? For those that don't know, San means saint, and Emigdius is the actual name, Emigdio. Okay, who was he? Let's see, he was a patron saint, widely recognized as the patron saint against earthquakes. Yes, they have a patron saint against earthquakes. Okay, he is believed to have been martyred in 303 AD during persecution of Christians under a Roman emperor, this guy here, Diocletian. So way back when. His martyrdom, okay, let's go. Saint Emigdio refers to Saint Emigdius, an early Christian bishop and martyr who lived from approximately 279 to 309 AD. The mountains, peaks, creek, and historic ranch in California were named in his honor. Interesting, huh? And this goes over how he became martyr, but basically he was a Christian baptizing individuals, and the current emperor did not like that, and there he goes. He was martyred. He was beheaded during the persecution of the Christians. Okay, again, patron saint and protector against earthquakes. Interesting, huh? And then this coincides, though, with what we're going to talk about on the three, the Garlock, San Andreas, and the Pine fault lines here. where they all converge, it seems. Okay, let's show some images of St. Emigdius. Remember that the information I have here, it's sourced from the links over here on the right. Okay, so let's look at a couple of these pictures here. St. Emigdius, let's see what it looks like there. Okay, I like this one here. He's trying to hold up the building that's crumbling down from an earthquake. That one is interesting. I think this one here, no, I was trying to see if it shows some earthquake references at least. But again, St. Emigdius. And this, like I said, this is the mountain that we're going. All right, so this mountain peak is part of the Transverse Ranges. Is a group of mountain ranges here in Southern California. There's quite a few. This is the more northern range. It goes all the way down towards Mexico, Southern California and Mexico. I'm going to go ahead and go slow through this. The Transverse Range are a group of east-west trending mountains. And this is what's interesting about it. East-west trending mountains rather than north-south. The distinction there. I went ahead and tried to get some pictures, but none of them came out very good. I'll show you through the USGS site. Okay, what is significant about this area here, where the San Andreas, the Garlock, and the Big Pine Faults converge here, right on the Transverse Range? I guess we'll call it a tectonic complexity. The interaction between these faults is complex major fault intersection. It's called the triple junction, or the knot, as geologists call it. That has fundamentally shaped the region's geology. Created significant seismic hazards and caused the unique east-west orientation of the mountains. Tectonic complexity. Okay, we'll talk about the structure of that complexity soon. Basically, this is the area where the unique east-west orientation of the Transverse Range is a direct result of the compression forces generated by the Big Bend in the San Andreas Fault. I'll show you that in a second. And its interaction with the other faults. As the Pacific Plate moves northwest, the Pacific Plate moves northwest relative to the North American Plate. The bend forces the crust to converge and uplift, forming these mountains, where San Emigdio Mountain is. And Mount Pinos is where I'll show you my next hike. The interaction of these faults is one of the most seismically active and high-risk areas in California. Yep, and they put an interstate right through this knot. Interesting. Interstate 5. The region has the history of major earthquakes, and scientists closely monitor the faults for potential future events. The Big Bend in the San Andreas Fault is particularly known for generating large, powerful earthquakes. Okay, and these are some, they give you what types of faults they are: slip knot, strike fault. I think what's important here is the significance of the San Andreas, Garlock, and Big Pine faults along the Transverse Range lies in their complex interaction that causes intense localized compression and the unique east-west orientation and rapid uplift of the mountains. This intersection is called the knot by geologists. The bend. Okay. I'll show you a picture of the bend in a second. The role of the Garlock and Pine interacting systems. The Garlock and Pine, these are the east-west faults. The major, they run east-west along the range, versus the north-west, north-south direction of the San Andreas Fault. The convergence seismic hazard. The convergent seismic hazard. I gotta learn how to enunciate. The convergence of these major faults means the area is highly seismically active. The Big Bend is a region where the fault locks up, building significant strain over time, which is released in large magnitude earthquakes. The southern segment of the San Andreas, which is part of this area, is considered a likely location for a major earthquake in the near future, capable of a magnitude 8.1 event, making it one of California's most significant seismic. Here we go. Let's look real quick at the USGS fault line. Those of you that are familiar with, let me see, I can zoom out, I guess, and zoom in. It's just when you zoom out too far, you don't get it. Here's Los Angeles in the bottom right, bottom center-ish, Long Beach, Riverside, Santa Barbara to the left here, Lompoc, Santa Maria, San Luis Obispo, here's Bakersfield. Out here will be Ridgecrest, the desert, Victorville behind the menu bar here. So as you can see, this large one here is the San Andreas Fault. Okay, sorry to mention, this is the this white line is Interstate 5. Those of you familiar with the interstate systems. Interstate 5 up toward Bakersfield. Here is called the Grapevine in this area, and then it zooms to the left is Interstate 5, and to the right would be California Highway 99. Okay, earthquakes were just updated, so it looks like, let's see, what is this? Tehachapi, 1.9, it's a little baby. I actually felt, a couple days ago, I felt a small earthquake over here. It was interesting. I said, house creaking? Okay, so here's the knot area here. I'll try to zoom out without, or circle without all these flashes going on. This will be the Garlock fault line. East, remember these are east-west. There it is here. This, of course, here, this large, thick one is the San Andreas. Okay, north-south, Pacific plate on the left, continental plate on the right. And then down here are the there it is, Big Pine fault line. The St. Emigdius is right here. San Emigdius is up here. Mount Pinos is on the other side here, which that's also in the making. Okay, thank you very much. Let's get to the hike.